Hi, I'm Sue Sylvanians, and I make videos about Sylvanian families, also known as calico critters. Today I will be opening more items I bought on AliExpress. All the items I bought arrived in these parcels, but I opened some of them in a previous video. Those items were from one store, but these are from a different shop called 4B's Capsule Toy Store. They specialise in gashapon or capsule toys, including ones for Sylvanian families. So let's get all the capsules out. I did buy a good few. Okay, here we go. So there are 6 capsules here from a few different series. This one is red, is not made for Sylvanians, so I'll open that in a shorts instead. So first, this is also a larger capsule, whereas these other 4 are slightly smaller. Right, so we just need to take off this tape. And twist. Oh, more tape. This should be the last bit. Okay, there we go. So this gadget is a bakery series, and it's made by a company called Tarlin. And originally it was 300 yen as on here. There were 6 options in this release, but I just wanted one. And it's this one with the 3 pastries. This section can be cut off and used as a shelf liner or something. There's safety bits on the back and other information, so I'll fold the leaflet back up. Then what's this? Maybe instructions or safety information perhaps? Okay, so there's a few pieces in here, and first it's a carrier bag. It's got a little bakery emblem and the Sylvanian family's logo on the front, and this can genuinely be used as a bag to put stuff in. This probably didn't cost much to produce, but I love that it was included as it makes it more realistic. Next is this bag. Got to get that opened. And this second bag too while I'm at it. Okay, so I think this is a pair of tongs and some sort of display tray. This has a great texture. It looks like wicker even though it's just plastic. I can't tell if there's a specific top and bottom. This is shaped like a rabbit, and I do have a few of these already. This is probably the least detailed item. It's a set of pale pink tongs. These kind of work properly, but definitely more for the look rather than use. It's good to have them though, as they'd definitely be in a bakery to stop people touching all the food with their hands. And then these are the food items. I'll get them out. Oh, maybe I didn't open the bag properly. There we go. So these are 3 filled pastries. They're really detailed in a bunny shape and are lovely and shiny too, like they're a proper glazed pastry. This first one is strawberry, with some cream in the middle beneath the fruit, and that is quite tall from the side. The bottom part is paler, but still with texture there, and I do think the pastry looks layered. Next is a blackcurrant or blueberry, I assume, some sort of small dark coloured berries at least. That looks like mint leaves in the centre or another herb. It's just a really lovely texture and reminds me of the much older sets. And to finish, more greenish filling in this one. I don't quite know what it's meant to be, so let me know which green fruit you think it is. I thought grapes, but that doesn't seem realistic for a pastry. But anyway, these can all go on the wicker platter thing. Just pop them on. It's a bit tricky to balance like this. Okay, I'll just hold them in place instead. These are designed wonderfully, and I like that they're all colourful too, not just brown, and they will make a great addition to my bakery or cake shop. Okay, just put that down. Actually, no, I'll move it completely out of the way because I have these 4 capsules to open next. This turquoise one first. I'll take the tape off the edge, and may as well do that for the rest of them too, and get out the pieces. Okay, fab. The same paper pieces came with all of them, but I only need to look at one. So this is the main leaflet, and this is the Cute Cake Shop in the Forest Series 3, with a picture of Freya and the Cake Red Toy Poodles in the Village Cake Shop, I think. Here's the different options, which are numbered 1 to 4, and I should have all of them. That looks like some cardboard to fold too. So that's 4 different sets in this series, all with multiple parts. I'll start over here with 2 bags. This one has lots in. I'll just open everything now to make it easier. Okay, 4 sets ready to go. This is the one which was in the turquoise capsule, which was number 2 on the leaflet, and there's 2 different treats in here with some storage options too. So this is one of them, I think meant to be a financier cake. They're shaped like rabbits in a medium brown colour. These are pretty small, have white tipped ears and a face too. They're flat on the back but rounded on top. So yeah, very cute. And there's 3 included. This rectangular tray is meant for displaying them, and it's 2 pieces. The base is cream with a green pattern around the edge, and the lid is cleared to look like glass with a gold handle. And it says Sylvanian Families on the front too. That perfectly fits on top. Then those cakes can fit inside like this. Yeah, perfect. Just pop the lid on. Very neat. Next is this clear plastic jar. It has ridges round the side and a lid to match. This feels like an old-fashioned sweetie jar, but in this case it's for some pale pink biscuits. So there are 2 pieces to this. First, a stack of them, which is like 3 stuck together. They're flat underneath, with a face design embossed on top, again in the bunny theme. And the 4th one is loose and has pink painted details on the face. It would have been nice if they had done that for the stack too, but anyway, that single one can go on top like this. Very cute. And then that should fit in the jar. So something like that. I don't know if the jar is the best shape for them, but it looks good. And the final item in this capsule is a gold scooper. It's pretty simple, but a nice shiny gold plastic, and with a rabbit embossed on the handle. So can we use that to scoop a biscuit from the jar? No, not really. What about the cakes? No, not for that either. I'm not sure which part this scoop is meant for, but it looks nice anyway. I like the 2 food options in here, and can understand why they didn't make all the pink biscuits individually, but I think the pink details would have been lovely to add. I'm also not sure if the jar is right for these style of biscuits to be stored in. It's not quite the right size. I could always use it for something else and put the biscuits on a plate, I guess. The trio of cakes are also nice, even though they're pretty simple. Definitely lovely things to add to a cake shop or bakery. This set is the red gacha, which was number 1 on the leaflet. Just bring everything together. Lots of parts in this one too. So this capsule is titled Bear Cannelé, I think. And these are another sort of French pastry which have a caramel crust. And again, there's treats and storage to go with them. This is like the previous rectangular display box, but round instead, with a nice gold handle again. And the tray has a design with 3 bunny heads, again in the pretty green colour. And the lid fits perfectly. I love this teeny tiny plate. It's white with a fancy F in the centre and is shaped like a 10-point star. And that is to perfectly fit the cannelés. We've got 3 of them, 2 plain and 1 pink. The plain ones have little ears on top and are a lovely colour, darker at the top and fading to a medium brown at the bottom. You can see the ridged edge at the base, and those just give these a lovely texture which I think is classic of the pastry. And this is another one which looks identical, except for a pink layer on top, like icing has been poured onto it. If I just get the plate, see that fits in perfectly. And the other 2 can go under the cloche of the container. This is a pair of tongs, again in the shiny gold plastic. They can be closed like this. But they don't really work for actually grabbing the items. I'll leave them more as a shop accessory, I think. And finally, there was a cardboard piece to make in this set, which I just folded off camera. This is like a to-go box in pale pink with the F logo on the front. I can just slide the layers apart, and one of the pastries can go inside. Just doing that up. I don't want to damage the card. There. Perfectly stored inside, in a very clever design. I'll leave that inside there for now. And pop the second one on the plate too. I like this set too. The pastries are a lovely alternative to the usual cakes, and I like that they're glossy too. I do have a lot of these cake boxes, so don't really need another. Maybe 1 or 2 more of the plates could have been a good replacement instead. The third gacha set was in the pink capsule, so I'll just make this look nice. There's 2 different treats in here, and overall it's called the Rabbit Pound Cake set. I'm going to start with the lollipops. They're in another clear plastic jar with ridges round the sides. This is a smaller version of the first one I showed. Yeah, it's the same size as the opening of the larger one. But to go in here are 2 lollipops. Again, these are shaped like rabbits and are kind of translucent with the main face parts embossed in. The sticks are translucent and colourless too. And they can go back into the jar. These will be perfect to go on one of my sweet carts. The namesake item in this set is a pound cake, but I'd call this a loaf cake. It's got a cakey texture on the end, and in the shape of a rabbit head, of course. I think this is a yellow sponge cake, which is brown on the outside. This slice fits onto the end of the larger part, and together they go on this dish. Again, there's a pretty green design on this. That does get covered up by the cake, but it keeps the 2 parts together nicely. Unless you have shaky hands like me. Okay, all better. Next is a knife. This is silver with a ridged edge and has a white handle. And to cook the cake, you need a chopping board. This is transparent too, with a curly pink pattern on the edge. Such a simple detail, but makes this not completely plain. And finally, I think this little jar is meant to be jam, or maybe lemon curd with the colour. It has a sticker with an F on the front, and the contents is a lovely sunshine yellow. The lid doesn't come off, but it's a great item, and I do have another one like this in a different colour from another Gashapon series. So I guess maybe we could pretend to cut the loaf, and then spread the lemon curd on it. Or maybe that's in the cake to give it the yellow colour. Either way, I think this is my favourite of the capsules, and although the lollipops don't really seem like they'd belong in a cake shop, I can easily use them elsewhere. This is the last capsule, which had blue plastic, and it's called Rabbit Tart. 2 stars of treat again, and a cardboard box I folded up too. These two are adorable. They're little tarts with icing on top, one yellow and one white, and again with some bunny faces. I like the ridge texture around the edges, which feels realistic to me. So yeah, overall very cute. This is the box I had to fold. It's the same pink design as the previous box, but in a more typical rectangle shape instead. That can be opened, and then these two tarts should be able to fit inside. That's one. Perfect. Just close that nice and neatly. I won't keep these in there though because I want to see them. This is a cake slice in the same gold plastic we've seen throughout. The main piece is this strawberry tart, I think, with cream round the outside edge. The pastry has a ridged pattern like the smaller ones, and the bottom isn't completely smooth. It looks like a textured pastry. I like that the strawberries and cream aren't smooth either. As a size comparison, the strawberry one would definitely be a showpiece or be cut up into multiple portions. And it can go on this cooling rack. It's gold too and has a circular shape. It's got a clear plastic base as you can see, probably because these gold things wouldn't be strong enough to keep the shape, but still really nice and looks realistic enough. And most importantly, it fits the large pastry. I do personally prefer the smaller pastries, but can use everything in here in the cake shop or houses too. So that's the whole set of this series 3 of the Forest Cake Shop gashapons. They look lovely all together like this, and I can't pick one item as my favourite. Maybe those last two tarts, or the lollipops, and the jam. It's a little odd that they're all rabbit themed other than the canapes. Wouldn't have minded if not everything was in that shape. But yeah, overall, I think these were 300 yen each originally in Japan, but were £2.73 each on AliExpress. With shipping and tax split across, they were maybe £4.30-ish each, which I don't think is too bad. And this series especially seems higher quality than previous iterations of the Cake Shop Gashapon series, which had less pieces in. I do have all of these too, and they are great for stocking shops. So let me know if you have any of these Gashapon items, and if you like them or not, as I'm a big fan. And maybe comment which pastry item you would like to try the most. But that's everything I have for you today, so thank you for watching until the end. If you like Sylvanian Families content, then subscribe to my channel as I post videos every week about everything Sylvanian, including news and announcements, as well as unboxings like this.